Welcome to our U.S. briefing show, everyone. Today, we're diving into the ongoing conflict between Ukraine and Russia, where violence is sadly escalating. Both sides have reported civilian casualties, 2 in Ukraine from Ukrainian attacks on Russian territory, and 1 in eastern Ukraine from Russian shelling. This comes after a big wave of missile and drone strikes across Ukraine, with Ukrainian President Zelenskyy calling for stronger sanctions and international support, including a meeting with U.S. President Trump at the UN. Next up, a significant shift in global politics. More countries are recognizing Palestine as tensions in Gaza and the West Bank continue to rise. Australia, France, and the UK are now officially recognizing Palestine, aiming to revive peace talks and push for a two-state solution. This move is part of a broader international effort to encourage peace and possibly influence future US and Israeli policies, as violence in Gaza remains intense. And finally, China is making waves in innovation, now ranking among the top 10 most innovative nations, surpassing Germany. This rise is driven by huge investments in R&D and domestic development. Interestingly, U.S. efforts to contain China's tech growth through restrictions seem to have backfired, leading to increased self-reliance and innovation in China. It's a clear reminder that cooperation and open exchange of ideas might be the key to solving global challenges. Please continue to stay tuned for more detailed coverage. The Associated Press reports a tragic escalation in the Ukraine conflict, where Ukrainian and Russian forces continue to inflict casualties and destruction along the borders and within the war-torn regions. In Belgorod, a woman was killed when shelling hit a private home in Shebekino, and a man died in a drone strike in Rakitno, highlighting the persistent cross-border violence that has plagued the region since Moscow's invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. Meanwhile, in Ukraine's Donetsk region, Russian shelling resulted in the death of a civilian and damage to residential and infrastructural facilities. The recent surge of attacks on Saturday involved a massive barrage of 619 drones and missiles launched by Russia, killing at least 3 people and wounding dozens, with Ukrainian President Zelenskyy condemning the scale of the assault and calling for stronger international sanctions. Zelenskyy also revealed that Ukraine is actively tracking the presence of foreign components in Russian weaponry, emphasizing the importance of the upcoming EU sanctions package and potential US support, as he prepares to meet President Trump at the UN to discuss long-term security guarantees amidst ongoing conflict. In stark contrast, the Australian Broadcasting Corporation describes the intensifying crisis in Gaza, where Israel's relentless bombing campaigns and expansion of settlements threaten the very possibility of a two-state solution. As Israeli forces continue to target densely populated Gaza City with heavy ordnance and bulldozers clear land in the West Bank for new settlements, the international community's efforts at the UN for peace seem increasingly futile. Israel's far-right leadership, exemplified by Finance Minister Smotrich's call for Gaza to be depopulated, and Prime Minister Netanyahu's outright rejection of a Palestinian state, underscore the deepening despair. In a rare move, countries like Australia, France, the UK, Canada, Portugal, and New Zealand have voiced support for Palestinian statehood, viewing recognition as a last-ditch effort to revive the two-state solution amid the chaos. This international push, embodied in the UN General Assembly's endorsement of the New York Declaration, aims to pressure Israel and the US to reconsider their stance, demanding reforms from the Palestinian Authority and emphasizing the importance of Arab and American leadership in restoring peace. The global response signals a shift toward holding Israel accountable and exploring diplomatic avenues, even as the situation on the ground remains dire and seemingly intractable. The Associated Press paints a vivid picture of the upcoming New Jersey gubernatorial debate, where Democrat Mikey Sherrill and Republican Jack Ciattarelli will confront each other in a town hall setting that promises to reveal their strategies and personalities. Sherrill, a Navy veteran and former federal prosecutor, emphasizes her background and promises transparency, while Ciattarelli, a seasoned politician and family man, leans into his local roots and issue-focused approach. The debate will be heavily influenced by the candidates' stances on President Trump, with Ciattarelli having shifted from criticism to staunch support, a move that Sherrill is expected to exploit to paint him as aligned with Trump's policies. Both candidates are also expected to tackle issues like inflation, taxes, and energy policy, with each blaming the other for rising costs, Sherrill citing tariffs and Ciattarelli pointing to Democratic tax policies. Personal style and background are likely to play a crucial role in how each candidate reintroduces themselves to voters, with the debate serving as a pivotal moment in a race that mirrors broader national political currents. Meanwhile, the South China Morning Post highlights China's remarkable ascent in global innovation, as reflected in the UN's latest rankings placing China in the top 10 most innovative nations for the first time, surpassing Germany. This achievement underscores China's aggressive investment in research and development, which has propelled it to the forefront of technological fields like AI, semiconductors, and electric vehicles, challenging the long-held dominance of Western nations. The report criticizes the U.S. strategy of trying to contain China's technological progress through export controls and sanctions, arguing that these efforts have backfired by spurring China to double down on domestic innovation. The article emphasizes that this self-reliance is fostering a vibrant ecosystem of innovation, with China leading in patent applications, product development, and global standards, from electric vehicles to high-speed rail. It warns that the U.S.'s approach to technological decoupling and scientific isolation not only hampers innovation but also damages long-term global progress, advocating instead for a cooperative framework that recognizes China's rise as an unstoppable force shaping the future of global technology and economic development. The New York Times reports that President Donald Trump, in a fervent display of impatience and determination, publicly pressured Attorney General Pam Bondi to accelerate investigations into his political adversaries. During a speech in Virginia, Trump emphasized the urgency of swift justice, asserting that the wheels of legal proceedings should not turn slowly when it comes to those he perceives as enemies. His comments were accompanied by a social media tirade where he explicitly named figures like Senator Adam Schiff, former FBI Director James Comey, and New York Attorney General Letitia James as targets for potential prosecution. Trump's frustration culminated in the resignation of U.S. Attorney Eric Siebert, who refused to pursue charges against James, highlighting the intense political pressure exerted at the federal level. Trump's appointment of Lindsay Halligan as Siebert's replacement underscores his ongoing efforts to influence the legal process to serve his political interests, reflecting a broader pattern of aggressive attempts to manipulate justice for perceived personal and political gain. Meanwhile, Yahoo reports that Deb Haaland, the Laguna Pueblo candidate for governor of New Mexico, passionately committed to combating the fentanyl epidemic during the Walk for Our Lives event in Española. Surrounded by families affected by the drug crisis, Haaland pledged to allocate resources toward addiction recovery, family support, and law enforcement enhancements to stem the tide of illegal drugs. Her personal experience with addiction lends authenticity to her resolve, as she has previously secured millions in federal funding for opioid treatment and partnered with Indian Health Services to improve mental health support for Native youth. The alarming rise in overdose deaths across New Mexico counties, driven predominantly by fentanyl, underscores the urgency of her proposed initiatives. Haaland's heartfelt dedication to addressing this crisis reflects her broader commitment to community health and resilience, aiming to turn the tide against substance abuse and foster recovery through targeted investment and support. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.
Morning sunlight on the street, city whispers soft and sweet, faces mix in daily grind, every story intertwined, cultures blend like colors bright, languages in the silent night, on the table stories told, food and feast upon so bold, people living day by day, in the heart they find their way, sharing moments, voices sing, in this world of everything. Society in rhythms beat, entertainment's fleeting heat, echoes of wars and fears, laughing through our unseen tears, children playing in the park, drawing dreams till after dark, elders speak of days gone by, washing shadows from the sky.